Hello everybody, CW here. I got a couple of parts in that I forgot that I ordered on eBay for the PMR-30. Been watching Chris from the 740's videos on his new Smith 22 Magnum, and I'm a 22 Magnum nut, and it kind of re-excited my thinking, rekindled my love of the caliber. And one that I bought myself a number of years ago is the PMR-30, and it's been a really good gun for me. It's a really good shooter. It's been really reliable after I've gone through it. I had all of this outlined in my old channel, but it's all been lost. And frankly, I probably can't show you a lot of that stuff with the change of YouTube's policies anyway. But know that I've changed quite a few parts and polished and smoothed pretty much everything, to the point where this gun will function and feed with 22 WMR, sorry, the other one, the older 22 ammo from Winchester Ammo, that's less powered but the same, closer to 22 Magnum than 22 long rifle. Dynapoints, which are problematic in a lot of guns because they're a heavier bullet at lower velocities, don't work well in these, and they work fine in this one. And basically it's a smooth, I think they call it fluff and buff because most of the parts are plastic. So what I've done here is I just added this dot. This is a ADE dot that I picked up a while back, but what I didn't realize was I had bought this mount. This is one of the mounts that screws on the slide, and these guns have been really problematic with this style, mostly because the slide is so light. It's only a 22 Magnum, and adding that extra mass up there has caused a lot of feeding issues, cycling issues with the gun. And I was doing some research, and M-Carbo offers a mount that goes in these two bolts, clamps around the frame, and then sits up on top here. It's a little bit big, it's a little bit clunky, and it's a problem for holsters, but they offer a holster with it, but it's kind of fugly. And it probably would be okay for me because I don't carry this in a holster. When I carry this, I carry it in a chest rig, on my chest, and it's not a holster, it's a bag, Hill People Gear bag, and that's how I usually carry this, because I use it as a trail gun, mostly when I'm riding the side-by-side, because I don't really perceive the need for anything bigger. And this, and a couple of 29 round magazines, because that's what the YouTube guidelines limit us to. You know what this is, you know what this holds. And this one cycles and works really good, really reliably. My only issue with it really is it shoots low, and they don't offer any different. The rear sight is pretty fixed, you can't really do much with it, but the front you can change, but nobody has offered different sights for this. We really could use someone to make taller and shorter sights to fine-tune the gun for shooting different weight bullets. Anyway, so I got this mounted up last week when I realized that I had it. I had bought the pick rail from another company and then put the red dot on top of that, but that offered a lot more mass. The pick rail isn't too awful heavy, but the fact that you needed to use that adapter base that a lot of these dots come with to clamp to the pick rail, that's a good sized chunk. You know, it's an ounce or 3, and it adds a lot of mass to this weight, to this slide, and it was causing problems. Now this dot is pretty light. This is a pretty light duty dot. It's not an expensive one. It's a cheap ADE, but it should be fine on this gun. And I'm hoping that the weight, the mass that we've added to the slide here with the adapter plate and the sight itself isn't so much, or isn't too much, to overcome for the little 22 Magnum cartridge. So I brought it out here today because I bought a couple of things to add to the gun, and I know that I can't really show any of this, but I can show before and afters. And what I've got here is some sandpaper grips. I much prefer sandpaper to rubber for my grips. And I found this on eBay, and it looked really good. And as you can see, it even comes with some alcohol prep alcohol prep pads to wipe down the grip to make sure you get a good seal, a good adhesion, a little bit of moisture control. This is their logo here. Black Scorpion grip enhancements, and it gives you an outline, a description of how to do it, the pieces that it comes with. It's still rubbery though. It's kind of sandpapery, but it's a little bit rubbery, and I hope it's all die cut. I hope it's all die cut. Yeah, I guess it is. I can see it starting to bend. So what it is it's a bunch of strips and pieces to go in between and on top of the boxes, the back of the grip, the front of the grip. So it looks like we got a complete wraparound, and then we got one that doesn't increase the width so much. So we'll check that out. I can't really show it to you because of the rules, but I can show you before and after. And I'll probably go for the whole covering because although the grip is long, I don't find it fat, and I've got a larger hand, so I don't mind a bigger grip. And then the second thing I ordered from another company is some, I don't know why he sent me red ones. I requested black ones, but these are not too obnoxious, so they're okay. But what I do see here, the mark on it, but that's not going to bother me. What I do see here is only 2 of these followers. And I know what these are. These go inside the magazine, and they go in that hole that you see there for takedown. So when you want to take these down, you get yourself a pin and you push it and you slide this off, and this holds your spring. So I'm hoping that I can use one that's in here because I've got 3 of these for my magazines, but only 2 of these. Now if they work out, I've got a few magazines for this, so if this works out, I'll probably be ordering more, and I'll just tell him that he shorted me one of these in my first order. The fact that these are red, like I said, I'd rather have them all black, but they're 3D printed. And this one here is a little bit ratty, but it's going to work. The claim to fame with this is that it protects depression of that release button, which is a problem on these. The magazine is pretty easily released when it's in your holster or being carried, and then your magazine pops. And you don't generally lose the magazine. It doesn't, it doesn't eject free. It doesn't generally fall out, although with it full of ammunition, it's going to be heavier. But it's got a little bit of grip to it there. So I haven't lost one, but I've definitely had it pop when it gets hit. So this one here is supposed to offer some protection because this goes back far enough. And being that it's a magazine that you have to pull out, most European magazines you have to pull. So this is, you got it in your hand and you're going to be having shot at empty the magazine. You're going to go like this to pull the magazine out. So the process is, so the idea here is that, I guess I can't hold it, but this gives you a little lip here. So you can grab onto that and then this at the same time and pop your magazine. So let's install one of these here off camera because I don't want to get YouTube excited. Let me pop this magazine apart and put this black one on here and we'll see what it looks like. All right, that was pretty simple. And I was able to use the one that was in here, this part that was in here. But the problem with it is I probably should have showed it to you, but the little nipple that's on here, on this one, is quite a bit taller than the factory one. So it barely engages this. So a sharp hit might overcome that and the floor plate could come off. So I can see why he made up taller ones, his own aftermarket ones. So I'll just be requesting it. But here we go. So there's the idea. So you can get to it pretty easily, but striking it, hitting it, everything, all these external forces when you're carrying the gun, pushing against something, it's not going to be as easy to depress that. You kind of made a button out of it instead of just how it used to be. Get into the magazine. Sorry, I'm going one-handed here trying to get this magazine out of the pouch. So instead of how it used to be with this, you can just lean against that and it pops. So any kind of a force out here pops that magazine, where with this one, that's not the case. Oh, look at there. Now there's exactly what I said it would do. See, that's exactly what I said it would do. It would overcome this spring. So here's what I'll show you. I'll show you what I was talking about because it just did what I feared it would do. See how tall that button is compared to the factory one? This is the factory one. So you need to use these. You cannot use the factory piece. And how they work is they go on here like that. No big deal. But I'm not going to assemble this because I don't want to upset anybody. Stand by, I'll put it back together. All right, here we go. But they're tricky. They don't fit well. And actually, I sent one to the gremlins. It went flying across the room here, and I never heard it hit the ground. So I do not know where it went. It hit the corner of the room over here, and so I only have one. So I'm going to have to talk to this guy and order some spares because that's just not cool. But you can get it together. It's just a little bit finicky. And there we go. So it is a nice idea. I do like it, but typical for a home produced 3D printed part. The fit and finish isn't great. It needs a little bit of care, a little bit of roughness there with with the printing, a little bit of slag hanging off where that finished off printing. But overall, you know, I like the idea. Just a little bit of file work. I'll take that burr off without any problem. And there we go. I don't know if I'm not selling anything here, so providing links is going to be tough, but don't know if I can really do that. So I'm just going to leave it up to you to do the searching if you're interested in these. I'm a no affiliation. I bought and paid for them. They were not sent to me. So if you want to try them on yours, you know, just search on eBay and I'm sure you will find them. PMR-30 floor plates. And there we go. Hopefully I'll be able to get to the range soon, and we can try this out. We can see how the function is, and with this new red dot. Until then, God bless everybody. CW. Sorry guys, I almost forgot to bring you back to show you the grip tape on there. And I was mistaken. It wasn't two different styles. It was one style, and a lot of those little bitty pieces go in between here. So I just put the 4 back ones in, and then I put the 2 strips on the slide here to help you grip it, to rack it. And then it goes on the front, lines up on the front, and then wraps around and doesn't cover up your takedown screws here and here. And then it's got another panel for the back, and it's pretty good. I mean, it feels good. I just prefer grit over rubber, and this is kind of like gritty rubber, so it's okay. This is really nice, because before it was kind of hard to grip the slide to do that, and now it's not. So I like it. I like it. I think these were under 20 parsnips, so they weren't too bad. And there we go. And these, I think these were 10 parsnips each, free shipping. So there you go. Both off of eBay. No sponsor. I bought them. Wanted to try them out. Watching Chris from the 740s videos on his Smith got me thinking, pull this back out and make some mods to it. I got some more things coming, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can get to the range soon and try this out. All right. God bless everybody. CW out.